The 2021-22 NBA season has been a disappointing one for teams like the Lakers and Portland Trail Blazers. And although we've already reached the halfway point of the season, it sounds like these teams may very well be blessed with a second chance following some trade rumors. So who are experts expecting to join the fight, and how much can we trust these trade rumors making the rounds? For all this and more, stay tuned. First of all, let's talk about Portland, who have their eyes set on Ben Simmons. Having just recently beaten the Los Angeles Lakers, fans of the Portland Trail Blazers have been somewhat jubilant in the last few days. But since the team is currently sitting 10th overall in the Western Conference, it goes without saying that a lot needs to be done before they are championship ready. And according to rumors, the Trail Blazers may very well have their eyes set on Ben Simmons of the Philadelphia 76ers in an effort to make things easier. That being said, there's quite a bit to take notice of and achieve before this trade even becomes possible. You see, the only true trade option that Portland has in their roster is CJ McCollum, the shooting guard that is currently battling with a collapsed lung. Swinging an injured player like McCollum for a beneficial piece like Simmons will be a pretty hard bargain though, and expert Eric Pincus seems to think that the possibility of success isn't that high. Essentially, it comes down to the 76ers wanting other star players like Damian Lillard on their roster, and will no doubt suggest a trade naming him as their number one option. But the chances of the Trailblazers agreeing to this deal is extremely low, as Lillard is the crux of their team at the moment. So as we said earlier, the only real option that Portland has is the transfer of McCollum's $30.9 million salary to the 76ers in the hope that this makes them happy. Unfortunately for the Trailblazers though, this might not be enough. According to rumors, McCollum is somewhat viewed as a negative trade asset at the moment. No doubt because of the injury he is currently battling to heal through, but this isn't the end of it all, as Portland is always able to add more fuel to the fire by offering up some other beneficial additions to the shooting guard. Jusuf Nurkic is the great example of a player that the Trailblazers can do without, as well as Robert Covington and Norman Powell. We're not saying that this will allow for the trade offer to become acceptable, we're just saying that it will increase the probability of success as it currently stands. At least it should in terms of value. The addition of other players in the real world isn't just based on value though, but the wants and desires of the interested team. So if the 76ers find that they have no interest at all in these additional players, the added value of the trade will be next to irrelevant. Either way, we're sure that Portland are kicking themselves at the moment for sending their 2022 first rounder to Chicago in return for Nance from the Cavaliers, as this leaves them with zero protections. In other words, they have no firsts to offer up to Philadelphia in an attempt to sweeten the pot. In other words, Portland fans shouldn't hold their breath. The Indiana Pacers have also had a few trade rumors circulating, and if these unsolicited reports are to be believed, the team actually has just about every one of their players available for a key shift. Probably one of the most lucrative players the Pacers can get rid of is Domantas Sabonis, the Lithuanian-American power forward that has had a pretty good run in Indiana over the years. And for those of you who need to be reminded of where the man currently stands, he still has around 2 more seasons left with the Pacers until his friendly deal comes to an end. As you can imagine, this makes him far more valuable than teammates like Miles Turner and Karis LeVert. And that's not even mentioning his skill with the ball, which is well beyond what the other Pacer players have in their repertoire. The latest statement from Pacers executive Kevin Pritchard may also convince Sabonis to become agreeable to a trade. Just a few weeks ago, he referred to the power forward as one of the most underrated centers in the league, but went on to say that he doesn't really qualify as a real star. Not exactly something Sabonis would have liked to hear from his current boss. That's about the extent of the trade rumors surrounding the Indiana Pacers. But since the team currently lies 13th on the Eastern Conference, it goes without saying that change is needed. Who they'll be gunning for, we have no idea though, but we're quite sure Sabonis will be their leading horse. And then we have Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics, who may be the next to go. For those of you who don't know, the Celtics are currently trying their best to build a team around their all-star wings, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. But according to the newest trade rumors, this might not be possible, with Brown being the pin in a significant trade deal that might see his 9-figure contract with Boston coming to an end. This isn't too surprising to fans of the Celtics though, though, who have been asking for a change to the roster for quite some time now, following the inconsistency of the team in the league. They aren't exactly last in the Eastern Conference, but at 9th position, there's no doubt that the team has a lot of work to do. And even if they do the work and end up in the finals, there's no way an inconsistent team will end up winning in the end. And as it turns out, the dynamics between Tatum and Brown may very well be the reason for this inconsistent position the team finds itself in. It's conclusions like this that have led to trade rumors surrounding Jaylen Brown. But since the Celtics won't be willing to let go of him for any less than another star, we're not too sure whether Brown will actually be leaving the Celtics before the end of the trade period. Bradley Beal of the Washington Wizards is about the only real option, as he would no doubt increase the ceiling of Tatum, his childhood friend. Not everything is that simple though, especially for the New Orleans Pelicans. You see, the team is in a bit of a jam at the moment. We know that Zion Williamson may very well be out for the rest of the year, and despite his unavailability to play, his dissatisfaction with the team roster remains one of the most contentious headlines still revolving around the Pelicans. This isn't exactly great news for Pelicans fans who know that their team is trying their best to build around Williamson, who is no doubt unavailable in both body and mind. As such, changes will need to be made if the Pelicans want their strategy to work going forward. The only way to make Williamson a success is to give in to his demands after all, which may not be all that bad in the long run. In fact, since Williamson's only true demand is to get more expertise and professionalism on the team, this is a change that will undoubtedly help the Pelicans in vying for a championship spot. Probably their best asset in searching for more star power at the moment is Brandon Ingram. But the problem with trading Ingram is that it's incredibly difficult to find anyone to qualify as an upgrade. His value isn't so high as to grab an all-star, and as of right now, there are no first-round picks that can really stand up to what he can do. Williamson has also yet to play with the new additions to the team, so a trade may be unnecessary anyway. Last but not least, we have Jalen Brunson of the Dallas Mavericks. And according to the latest trade rumors, the key player may actually be spending his last few days in Dallas. It's a rumor that has somewhat surprised fans though, who stood by Brunson while he was asked to play in the absence of superstar Luka Doncic. And in the end, he made a pretty great impression with an average of around 21 points per game. Not exactly the average Doncic could have given, but definitely something the fans were happy with. But the Mavericks are well aware that Brunson will be an unrestricted free agent at the end of this season, which will no doubt allow him to command a much higher price on the open market. And since Porzingis and Hardaway Jr. are still owed more than $100 million combined from the team, letting Brunson go might be the only way forward for the Dallas Mavericks. And there you have it, everything you need to know about the latest trade rumors flooding the NBA market. What do you think of Ben Simmons possibly heading to Portland though? And which other trades would you love to see happen? Feel free to let us know in the comments section down below.